I think Dan and I, and I'm not sure whether Leslie was, at one of the early meetings of the committee. I mean, one thing, it's like our board, too, we have given them some information, actually a lot of information.
Some of it they may have
about how, well, that's right. And how we go through this whole process, and I don't mean that with any, it's tough to keep reminding ourselves where we are, but based on some of the comments today where Mark was speaking to a lot of the numbers and people were trying to write things down and visualize it, maybe we can't have something ready to hand them if we meet on the 18th, but we either could take a little look at before and maybe some of the materials we've given them, just point them to that as a reminder, key points, or say, we'll have
maybe reformat things.
Right, reformat in a summary way or a way to remind, because we have actually, I do believe in a lot of our school documents, we do have a lot of the processes. And perhaps summarizing that, and then with the addition of the comments that we have here, honing in on that revitalization piece, that would give them more of a level of comfort. And one other thought too, because statement to the board or to the committee, I think is very appropriate at the next meeting. I know Mr. Karn, at one point we had talked about a letter or information, in a written format to the committee that they could consider before, or so at some point we might want to use that as a mechanism. That may not be for the next time, but we can think about that. It was a good suggestion. So, other comments? Thank you, Superintendent. And I do want to thank Paul for taking this issue on too, and hearing us aboard. That is a lot to struggle between two entities, as you've done. So we appreciate that time and effort. All right. Yes. Thank you very much. I almost missed the card. Mr. Campbell, and this is commenting on SB154.
First of all, I did hear the committee, the SB154 committee, take a big turn today, and so I think everyone should take a deep breath and congratulations and job well done, because I think the conversation has moved from what are the needs to, okay, what are we going to do? There's still the question of the level 3, but I think that information is important to get out there, whether that happens this year or 5 years from now, because that's an issue that I, for one, didn't know 12 months ago, didn't know 2 months ago, and that's something I wanted to know. So I think a big thank you to staff and the superintendent and Mark Stanton's crew for spending the last 12 months, a lot of time getting that information out to the public, because I guarantee you most of the people on that committee do not understand the mechanics of the Washoe County School District or how the board operates. I certainly didn't know until you start coming to meetings and start paying attention and start reading a lot of documents if that's something important to you. I think the suggestion you made today, Mr. Dune, is very daring on your part. You have become somewhat of a statesman, and I think that's the reason why the committee made that turn, is because you did make that statement. The committee is not necessarily concerned with the variable costs of new schools or whether or not to build those. What they want to know is, whether it's 4 years or 8 years, does this revitalization problem, is there a solution there? And what's it going to look like in 4 or 8 years? At the end, are we going to be satisfied that that problem was solved? And so I think it is important to stress flexibility to the committee. Obviously, if people want to get into the mechanics of the school board, they'll have that opportunity in November. But there needs to be some kind of ISO process or policy so that when those people make a recommendation to you, they're going to have full confidence knowing that after a particular time period, this will be accomplished. I don't know if you can give that to them or not, but that's what they're looking for. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And at this point, liaison report. Mr. LaMarca, any comments?